I'm Chloe. I'm one of the developers with OpenVIF, and today I would like to basically do a bit of a walkthrough of how to create a new Jira ticket for Aspen Discovery. More specifically, I'd like to look at how to write a new bug report ticket um, for cases where you've found a bug, you found something that isn't working like it should in Aspen, and you'd like to report it to the community. So here you can see a list of all the Jira tickets that we have at the moment for Aspen Discovery. Some of them are bugs, some of them are enhancements, some of them are questions. We are not going to be looking at the enhancements or the questions today, so I'm going to just filter this down so that we only have the bugs. Okay. Now, the one that I have found and that I will be reporting with you is to do with the library system setting page in Aspen Discovery Administration. So you can see here that I have a test library set up so that we can look at its setting, play around with it, see what's happening, and see how we are going to be reporting that. So if I look here, I've got a lovely search bar that can help me access settings without having to manually scroll down the page. So I'm going to go ahead and try to look for e-commerce related settings. And what we find is that we get a section, and in the section, we only get one setting, which is a bit odd, but not necessarily a real problem. So since this is called finds/e-commerce, I'm also going to try to search for it by using the word finds, and there we go. Now we've got more settings than before, and they're not the same as well. There's something going on. If I don't use the search bar, scroll down, find e-commerce, there we go. I can now see that this section actually has a lot of settings within it. And the issue here is that if I use the search bar to access it, I don't see everything that is relevant to, in this case, finds. I only see settings that are relevant to find and have find directly in their title. To me, that is a bug because I want to be able to use the search bar to find the settings that affect or that are relevant to the search term I've used. I don't want to just, so if I find a section, I want to find everything within. Okay, so step 2, in Jira, I'm going to quickly check whether someone has already reported this, whether it's a known issue or whether I'm the first and it'll be my job in this case to go and report this. So it's a search bar related problem. So let's type search bar and see what comes up. Leader, web indexing, menu links. Yeah, none of this relates to what we've seen here. Okay. Another thing I can do to try and see if there's anything in there that's relevant is I can go to my filters and I can look at the custom fields because we have an Aspen component section right here. And because it was an administration related page or settings page, I can actually just narrow results down by that. And there we go. That's given me a list of potential candidates that might be to do with this sort of page. Just looking through it quickly though, I'm not seeing anything that would pertain to the search bar behavior that we have found. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, no one has reported this yet. So create. So we've established it was a problem. We're not wondering whether this is a correct use or whether there's a setting, we are clearly reporting it as a bug. We are going to leave the status as new because no work has been done on this. It's not been progressed in any way, shape, or form. It is very much just reporting something that we have just found. Here you can see that we have three different sort of subsections. We don't need to worry about QA documentation. We don't need to worry about developers. These things are relevant later in the life cycle of the ticket per se, but when you're just reporting your bug at the very beginning, there's no need to worry about that. It's just the issue info that is going to matter. So for the summary, what I like to do is include keywords in there that very easily and clearly point people towards what feature of Aspen we're talking about and exactly what's wrong with it. So I think that this is probably quite good. It does mention that it's relevant to administration. It indicates that it's a search bar behavior we're not happy with. And then it's got kind of quick summary of what is wrong with it. And it's the fact that we can't get full sections to come out if we use it. The next bits that I like to spend a little bit more time on, it's not absolutely necessary to do it that way, but it does help quite a bit, is the description, where I like to actually think of it as 3 steps for clarity. And so my first step is going to be just having a quick summary of the general context of what's going on. So again, I'm in the administration page. The ones I've looked at that have this, that I have found, are library system related locations and indexing profile. Then I just quickly 2 lines highlight sort of the current behavior that we're seeing without necessarily going into more details, but just giving people sort of a broad idea of where the issue is and what's going on. And then to help people investigate the bug, what is really useful to have, what we really like, is to have something like this, sort of a quick step-by-step, it can really just be a few, description of what we've done when we were on Aspen, exactly what we've done to get to the problem. In this case, just navigated to that page. We opened the section, the Find e-commerce section. We saw that there was a lot of settings available there. And then we used the search bar to get to the same section. And we saw way fewer settings. And this is the behavior we noticed. This is the bug. This is where it is. And the last part, for clarity and to help everyone in the community both be able to tell exactly what the bug is, but also to help people looking at this ticket determine whether they might be having the same issue or the same concern, is to add one last little bit, which is clarifying exactly not just what is going wrong, but what the correct feature, what the expected behavior would look like to us. So in this case, to me, very simply, it would be that instead of seeing only this much, I should, when searching for that, I should see the entirety of that section below, which is what I've added here. So again, while it's important to, in the description, include both ideally what the behavior should be like and what it currently is like, so we can contrast the two and figure out exactly what's wrong and what needs to be addressed. the structure I've got here is optional. It's just how I like to do it to make sure that I've addressed all the points. So yeah, if you'd like to follow something like that, absolutely do. If you don't, that's okay too. What matters is that we have the information we need to then start investigating whenever that ticket does get assigned. One of the last few things that you can do. So when we were looking at the list, you can still see it in the background of bugs that exist in Aspen. We were able to filter by Aspen component, in this case, administration. So what I'm going to do for this ticket is I'm going to say that it is administration related, so that if someone else wants to go and try to find if this has been reported, they are more likely to find it because they can use that filter. And if they do use that filter, it will come up. And that is about it. If you do go into more fields, if you do into a bit of further detail, another thing worth mentioning maybe is the found version. So in this case, I am on a 2504 Aspen Discovery version, as we can see at the bottom of the page here. So I am going to say 2504. I think at the time of this video, for a lot of people, that might be 2501. So that will, again, help with investigation and help with understanding sort of which releases might be affected, where we need to look. All right. So we have our fun version. We have our Aspen component. We've got a description. Again, you can follow that structure or not. And we've got a summary. We've clearly marked it as a bug. So the last thing left to do really is to hit the create button, and that's us done. There we go. It's right here. It is new. It's not going to assign it yet. And it has my name as the reporter because I'm the one who created that ticket. And if I open it, whoops, apologies. There we go. If I open it, I can see the details that I've added. And that's us done. Bug reported, everything sorted. There we go.